Is it what crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute. I say to hell
On
with it.
Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion,
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
where you are the judge.
Good to have you back. It's still Core Digest Extra. And on this segment, we're going to be looking at something very interesting as we examine the rights of the girl child. And looking over in December 19, 2011, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution 66 and 170 to declare 11 October as the International Day of Girl Child, to recognize girls' rights and the unique challenges facing the girl child around the world. And tomorrow happens to be the International Day of Girls' Child. That's why it's very significant we discuss this issue today. And the topic is the girl child, a voice to be heard. And I'm joined by two wonderful ladies who have been on the forefront advocating for the right of the girl child, and of course grooming young ladies to become leaders of tomorrow and to see themselves as not just a girl child but someone who has a voice that can change the country just like the male counterpart can do. And I'll start by introducing Nena Wana, is a right activist. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I have Funke Oguntuga, also a right activist. Good morning.
Good morning.
Funke Oguntuga is the president of Heart Minders. Heart Minders is involves in training young ladies and, of course, advocating for the right of young ones.
Right.
All right. Now let's look at the girl child, a voice to be heard. I'll start with Nena.
Okay.
Nena, do you see the future of the girl child in Nigeria, of course, their rights being respected in this part of the world since you started advocacy?
I will say yes. Yes, we've been on it. We've been to the Senate since 1999. And I believe with time we'll get there. They're beginning to have voices. We mentor girls to start participating in student government in schools, and that's let's give it 5-year development plan, 10-year development plan, but we'll get there. Yes.
And now, what would be your comment on the Chibok girls who have been abducted for, God knows, for over 545 days now?
Now that's a touchy topic. It's very unfortunate that such young girls could be pulled from school, and I think it's 544 days now. I pray they're found and found in good condition, which will be very, very dicey, considering the cannibals we're dealing with.
Okay. Now, I want to quickly take you up on, when the military started rescuing some women, of course, who they say are not the Chibok girls exactly, we learned that some of these women were pregnant as at the time when they rescued them, and there's been controversy of whether they should abort the pregnancy or they should have the children. As a right activist, what's your stand on that?
Personally, for children, they should. It's their children, really. If you let them keep the child, it's things with abortion and stuff. You have to weigh the situation with these girls. They are already on the wrong side, and then to load it up to have them keep this child will be brutal. You know, you want to raise them. At the same time, you're looking, should they keep it? Who is going to take care of? Who is responsible for this child? We don't even know. We don't know. So I would advocate they abort it, because that's just the right thing to do.
Okay. How about you, Funke? What's your take?
Really, indeed, it's dicey. But if you look at it from the point of view of their emotions and the age, it's appropriate that they are voted.
Okay. And now, as we move on, okay, we're hoping that the military make the promise to rescue the girls. Of course, they told us they are taking their time before they rescue the girls. Do you think it's possible to rehabilitate them back to the society after all they've gone through?
We do not have a good history doing that as a society. Even if you look at the way we handle even our prisoners, it was supposed to be a correctional center where people that have gone through a particular crime or offenses are kept. I mean, it was supposed to be a correctional process for them. Have we been able to achieve that? No. How much more those that were abducted by people who are inhuman and have done quite a number of things to these girls? We do not have this culture. But the appropriate thing to do is to separate them from the society and take good care of them, health-wise, emotional-wise, and we have to. They are supposed to be rebirthed back into the society. That is the appropriate thing to do. But do we have that history? No. Is that the right thing to do? Yes.
Okay, and so if we don't have the history, are you saying that it's impossible to make, because of course we have the problem on our hands, and of course while we hope that these girls come back, so what would be your message to the government, to other NGOs, to ensure that the mistakes of the past doesn't repeat itself?
Okay, that's where we have to do more. I mean, we have a lot of NGOs that are doing a lot of things around that, but we have to do more, especially, I think this is the only country in the world where there is absolutely no concern for teenagers. Because in other parts of the world, even the ones that are not abducted, teenagers are given special care because of the, anytime I have the opportunity to talk to teenagers, I like to say that I don't envy them, because they have a complicated time at that time. A lot of things is going on in their head. They have their personal things that they want to do because they're growing up. They're seeing themselves as adults and not children anymore. Parents are seeing them as children. Society are seeing them as people that are growing. So they have diverse of things that they need to do. They appear to the parents as I am growing. They appear to peers as I'm grown. Do you understand? So they have a lot of things that they're supposed to do to the society. So I would say that NGOs will do more by helping the government to give aid to these children and help them, get back into the society.
All right. Now, in and out, the theme for this year is the power of the adolescent, Vision 2030. What do you make of this theme?
The power of the adolescent. Because that's where you catch them. I'm one who believes, I trained a girl, so I know how hard it is to raise a girl child. Like she rightly said, at the adolescent age, a lot of things, biological changes, psychological changes, emotional changes, all of those things are at war. And if you're not careful to nurture the girl, they could go that way.
Not leaving religion out of it. Religion is something different.
Exactly. There's so many things. Exactly. The religion is telling you this, society is telling you that, your parents are telling you that, your peers, which is worse, because they spend at least 8 to 10 hours with their peers. So it makes it a very dangerous venture for a girl child. Trying to prove, yes, I'm grown. And the parent on the other hand is trying to prove, no, you're not grown.
And so there's a problem with the balance.
Terrible, terrible problem.
Okay.
You-
So what power does an adolescent have? The power of the adolescent. That theme is quite deep.
It's deep. Do they really have power at that age? No, they are fighting to have it, and it's with the encouragement of the parent. If they have parental guidance, then they have the power. Like I preach to my daughter, you have the power. You can make it, and she made it. You know, you don't have to go with the crowd. Be alone if you must. It doesn't stop you. When you go with the crowd, you get confused. At that age, adolescents get very confused. So I don't see where they're having a power comes in.
Okay.
I really don't.
So it has to do
that
with
is why the power they're talking about there is, you know, we're moving from Millennium Development Goal to the Sustainable Development Goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So UN is saying that if we have a girl that is 15 now,
Okay.
you know, in 2000, any girl birth in 2000 is now 15 years.
Yes.
That is, it was in 2000 we started Millennium Development Goal.
Yes.
Okay, now you're 15. Sustainable Development Goal. How do we sustain an adolescent who is 15? Vision for 2030. Vision for when she is a fully grown 30-year-old girl. How do we manage the 15 years that she has? What do we push to her to earn, to be what she will now take into the 30s? That is why, that is what the theme this year is
Really
talking about. Like, bring all the 15-year-old girl together. Let them know what they can do in another 15 years that would make them a full-grown woman.
Do we really have the enabling environment?
You know,
we don't.
in Nigeria,
In Nigeria,
because
we don't.
compared to
And that's-
other countries
we
outside,
don't. There's no space for healthy recreation.
or don't you think that can change?
It can.
It can change, but are we trying?
Are we making effort?
Are we? Yes.
Are we making
Are we
efforts?
trying?
Yes.
And I don't see it. I don't see it. These days, a lot of them, the recreation is being on the internet. Like in my home, when we get into the car, I tell you switch up. Look at your environment. Don't you? Nobody presses their the telephones in the car. No, I don't. Look, be aware of your environment.
Yeah,
Although there's not much to see around the environment, but hey.
Okay. Now let me take Funke on this. You know, recently in the news we hear cases of rape, very young girls. I read this morning about is it 3-year-old girl who was raped by a stepfather, a 14-year-old girl who is a sickle cell, and she was raped by a stepfather. And also we saw a core member who has 2 weeks to get married. She was raped and murdered. What do you think is responsible for this? Do you think it's psychological problem or breakdown of law and order in society? Or do you think a lack of security in the home front? What would you ascribe to this?
A lot of school of thought has gone into it. So many reasons are involved. Number one, we have teenagers who want to experiment. There is no doubt about it. We have teenagers or children who probably because of their background wants to experiment, but that does not say that anyone should take advantage. It could be a medical problem. Some people are just not mentally fit to handle children. Some people have what we call pedophilia. They have attraction to children. Some people just have societal disorder. They are not at peace with what the law says. They want to do the other side of the law. So there are a lot of.
Do you think the
things
law
to
is
it.
trying its best to deal with culprits?
Yes, we have a correctional center in Lagos. We have special correctional center. Of course, that is after it might have happened. But you know, the government is not doing. Yes, the government is not doing enough to say that it shouldn't happen. There are no preventive measures enough to scare people away from doing this. Like in the last 3 months, it's scary. You wake up and see a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old abused, most especially by their father. Who sleeps with her own daughter? Who does that? I don't know how that happens. A father, a 71-year-old daughter, father
Sleeping with
sleeping with the daughter.
You know, I spoke
It
with
beats
someone and
me.
he said that such people should be taken to the zoo because it's really human.
Taken to the zoo and they start raping the
Mm-hmm.
animals. They should be castrated.
Maybe that's another.
And then another thing is, you know, as a society, generally we lack feelings for each other, because if you have the interest of the next person at heart, you wouldn't rape her. You wouldn't rape her. And then if your background, even if your background teaches you otherwise, but for crying out loud, does it make sense to rape a girl who is about to marry in 2 weeks and rape her to death?
To that. You know, in Lagos, the governor of Lagos started a toll number where ladies who abuse can call in to get help, and which is quite laudable because it wasn't existent before. But how would you say we're fair as a country? You know, usually as far years ago, when a girl goes to report a rape case in the police, there's usually a stigma.
Yes.
Do you think we've improved in that line?
We haven't. We haven't. I heard a story last week. A girl was raped. She went to the police station, and the policeman that attended to her, the first question was, "Is this the dress you wore? Is this the dress you had on when you were raped?" She said, you dress like this and you expect a man not to harass you. Excuse me? A policeman who does, I mean, see, the society itself, the law, the government needs to raise standards and make people, you know, the first thing you think about is, if I do this, what would happen? If people are brought to justice, it will reduce. I mean, and then people, that is why from what we do in Heartminders, we work on the family from the beginning. If we have a healthier family, a healthy family, we'll have a healthier society. If you teach your children how to, you know, how to carry your poise, you know, the way you carry yourself, things you do in the society, you know, then it reduces it. I mean, that is what we should start doing, because we've not been doing that. That is what we should start doing. But now that we have a lot of teenagers outside that are at risk of animals in human skin, who wants to rape, who wants to abuse them, what do? Let's increase our the rate at which we make an announcement. Let's make it a law.
Okay.
Let's punish offenders. Let's do these things, and then let's work more on educating the girl child.
All right. Now, to Nena, what would you consider as the major challenge facing a girl child, and how can she overcome that?
Okay. I wanted to say something. It starts with the family. It's unfortunate what we have now. In every household is a two-family income. The mother is not home.
Yes.
The father is not home. That's where it starts. The housemaid abuses either way, the boy, the girl. You know, I read one, I think last 2 weeks, where it's a house help that raped a 5-year-old boy. Can you imagine that? And how did that happen? The mother was home, maybe the weekend, and the boy kept pulling the hand to, you know, you touch me. And she's like, okay, what's going on? And she started investigating and realized it was the house girl that was doing that. So it starts from the family.
The family.
You have to nurture your kids. If it's a girl, you set a standard.
Yes.
I used to teach my children from as little as 6 months, 7 months. I teach them how to wash their private part.
Yes.
And guess what? And I said, you don't let not even your daddy touch it. And they never do. So even from that 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, I even stopped washing it. You understand?
And so it grows with
It
them.
grows with them. You understand? The boys, the same thing. You don't let people wash it. Teach them how to do it, they'll learn. Everything is teaching. You teach them, they'll grow with it.
Okay. So to my question, how
Yes.
what's the most challenging thing that faces a young lady, and how can she overcome it?
Being seen as a human being first. It's so challenging. When they see a girl, the antenna goes up. And no, it's true.
Yeah.
As soon as they see, especially if, let me quote unquote, if they're seen as being dressed provocative. Who determines that?
What is provocative and what is not?
Who determines that? You know, it's the in thing. People wonder, why do I buy flashy dresses, mini dresses for? Say, but that's what they wear now. You understand? You don't overexpose yourself, but if that's what the teenagers are wearing now, so be it. It's none of your business. Why would you want to think so?
Even these days, it's beyond the provocative dresses, because you see ladies dressed in hijab are even being raped. And so you want to ask yourself, was it really the outfit or...
It's not. It's not the outfit.
There's so many things to it. Psychological and just being plain stupid.
And so what do you think could be done to overcome such evil that faces the girl child?
Part of why we're hearing a lot of those things is because of things that the awareness is being created. I can tell you, there's been rape way back, plenty of it, but we don't hear about it. It is because of the awareness being created
That's why we're
about
seeing
rape.
it.
Exactly, that's why we're seeing it. So it needs, if we must even announce it every day on radio, on TV,
Exactly.
you know, sing it, sing it, sing it.
Okay. Now, which takes me to my question as we round off. I'll start with Funke. How can a girl child get a voice in a society where there is so much noise, where even the society doesn't really present a level playing ground for you? How can you get your voice?
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is we should educate a girl child. The era where we say girls should stay at home and let the boys get the education first or go and marry. I think that is not so common in the southern and the northern part of the country, where the 13 and the 14 are deemed ripe enough for marriage. The era is gone. Let's educate every girl child. Let's give them the chance to be a girl. Let them enjoy teenager. Let them enjoy being a teenager. Let's not make them grow up quickly by saying, because you are the girl child, stay in the kitchen and cook with me. This is what you go and do in your husband's house.
And the statement, don't you know you're a girl?
No. Let a teenage girl be a girl. Let her enjoy being a girl. Let her see herself as a girl. Let her enjoy being a girl. Educate a girl child. Let your girl have equal voice in the house. It starts from the home. Don't you keep quiet. Let your brother talk. It is not right. Let the girl child speak. Give the girl child the right to be a girl. When you educate a girl child, she learns more. And then the number of the illiterate girl child reduces. And then we'll move to a stage where the girl child that is educated can then now say, okay, I want to contest as the student union president. I have the equal rights. Like when I was in school, when I was in the university, we have about nine men and a girl, you know, and then because of the sentiment for the girl, we were raising campaign for the girl and saying, because she's the only girl, she's going to be the next although she didn't become the next president, but we fought it.
But at least you made an impact.
It nearly became a sexual war because we were saying we would not allow this. So let's give the girl child more voice. Government should include women more in, women would have, like they say, we have tender hearts. So when a woman is in government, let's stop making women vice deputy this, deputy this, deputy
A woman
this.
president in
A
Nigeria.
woman president, a
Very
woman
possible.
governor, you know,
Okay.
we can do it.
All right.
And then this will now encourage younger girls that if this woman can do it,
I
I can do it.
Now to Nina, as a round off, these days we see a lot of teenage pregnancy, and there's this quote they call baby mama, you know, where young girls get pregnant because it's in vogue, it's fashion, especially when maybe the person who impregnates you is rich. And so the question is that really the right path to tour? So what's your advice to young ladies who are being misled by the trend of baby mama and early pregnancy?
You just use the word misled. You are being misled. You be a baby mama, the baby papa goes on.
Who sits at home to nurse the child?
You know, don't let anybody talk you into getting pregnant. Don't be fooled. Don't be just don't be fooled. You have to think of your future. You know, as he's growing, you're growing. And there's time for everything. There's this promotion going on. Learn when to dress. When you're a child, you dress like a child. When you're a teenager, you dress like a teenager appropriately. When you're in the university, there's a dressing for it. When you're a young adult, there's a dressing for it. You know, you go and go and go and go till you are mature enough to be married. I'm an advocate of marriage.
Yes.
You must marry.
Yes.
Whatever happens afterwards, it's another thing. But then again, marry your friend.
Yes. And on that quickly, I want to say that you do not need a man to complete you. If you don't love yourself, if you don't love yourself,
You
and
can't
have
force it.
self-love,
You can't force
you can't
it.
force it.
Yes.
So that is why
You can't
the
force
only
it.
thing the option that for you is to become a baby mama. Why can't you be the madam of the house?
Yeah, and the advice is, what would be advice to young ladies who feel that they really cannot be a name or a force to reckon with until they marry someone who is probably old because he's rich and he has the money? But what's your message to them?
It's not a healthy thing to do. I mean, if you are in the right place in your life, you get a right man. Like my dad used to say, permit me to use the word, my dad would say, for every stupid man, there's always an available stupid woman. So
And vice versa.
and vice versa. So if you are in a right place in your life, you got good education, you've got good morals, you are doing a good job, you get a good man who approaches you, and then life goes on. I'm not saying that being educated or going to university is the only yardstick for success, but it shaping you and it prepares you for the life ahead.
Okay, you want to say something quickly?
Yeah, I want to say girls have to learn to be more responsible for their lives. That's what's lacking with a lot of teenagers in Nigeria. And again, I keep going back. It stems from the family. If your mother, father is focused to saying, I need you to be here in 5 years, you will be.
Yes.
Okay. That's a very good one, a very good advice. Just starting your life well, knowing fully well that you have a responsibility to either become successful or otherwise. Whatever choice you make, it's yours to live with. Thank you so very much. It was really nice having you.
Thank you
Very much, Inena. And we look forward to having you next time on the show, because
Definitely.
the issue of girls cannot be overemphasized. It's important we keep talking about it. And even as the world celebrates the International Girl Child tomorrow, we want to see more activists like you come up to ensure that all the ladies in their vicinity gets the right education and the right information to make informed decision. Really.
Right.
Thank you once again.
Thank you.
All right, we want to really end this segment, and when we come back, we'll look at other issues that borders on human life. And interestingly, today is World Mental Day. And like WHO said, that even a mentally challenged person has a right, has a human right. And so we'll be looking at that just after this timeout. Join us after then.
Is it wallcracy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treating looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell
On
with it.
Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion,
Everybody have a right in Nigeria.
where you are the judge.